What's up? What's up? Another day leveled up. It's your boy Salem back with another one for you. Today is day 3 in the 30-day challenge of no cuts, no edits. We're going to get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about social anxiety, why you have it, how to overcome it, and the reason why you should overcome it. So I'm sure a lot of you maybe in passing see a lot of people who are anxiety ridden. They're afraid to really show themselves. They don't want to be judged, so they really just exclude themselves from a lot of things. And myself, I grew up pretty much this way. You know, I still consider myself an introvert, but I realized that at a point in time, you have a choice to either remain in your situation or master your communication to get outside of that situation that you're in. You are in that circumstance where you're standing. You can't change anything without the mastery of your communication, because we all need to know how to communicate our thoughts and our desires, our motivations to others, to help others help us. So the biggest thing and the detriment of not mastering your social anxiety and being self-aware that you do have it is that you're going to remain in the exact place that you're in right now. Because how is anyone ever going to help you if they don't know that you need help, that you are humble and have the humility enough to ask for help? Being in a small town, growing up in a small town, I find that a lot of people there, when they go to bigger crowds and unfamiliar places and scenes, they are the ones that are ridden with anxiety, because they may have built this image in the small town that they're from, that they're the man. You know, they were great in high school at X and X sports. Their name is known through that small town. But when they get to a bigger city and a bigger population, when no one knows you, no one cares what high school you went to, they have trouble with trying to do too much, trying to prove that they are worthy and should be accepted into this bigger population that they're not familiar with. And they have anxiety trying to just be someone they're not, putting on an image. And it's detrimental, and a lot of people burn out by trying to have this mask on that is not their own. And I think a lot of people, you can put yourself in situations that could help with your social anxiety. But to this example, even if you are exposing yourself to these situations you're not familiar with, you may become a little bit desensitized, but you're still going to have that thought in your head. Every time you show up, you're still going to have to overcome that thought. So the thought that you should change, the mindset that you need to shift, is that everybody else doesn't have it figured out. Everybody else is trying to figure it out just like you. They might put on a better face than you. They might be in more of a momentum than you. But everyone doesn't have it figured out. Everybody's just trying. And they're trying to teach you what they've learned so you don't have to go down that road. But everybody is just a big-ass kid at the end of the day, who has the desires, the trauma, the liking to certain things that they've had since they were a child. Everybody is just an extension of God, looking at you and reflecting back whatever it is that you are putting out into the world. So why show up in a way that you feel you're not worthy? social anxiety, a lot of it comes from just not feeling worthy, not having the confidence to know where your power comes from. This is why it's so important to have a spiritual grounding, something to anchor you, because especially as this world gets more and more digital and there's a lot of just blurred lines, no one really stands up for anything or really goes to bat for something these days. That if you aren't really anchored and have something that you hold dear and something that keeps you in a moral direction, you're easily going to have anxiety, because you're going to come into contact with people that have way different beliefs than you, and you are going to question yourself to think like, oh, should I change? Should I try to please these people? No. If that's how you're going to go through life, shifting and putting on mask every time you show up, you're going to be exhausted, and then you're going to remain and end up in a place that is not desirable. So they say always, when you're public speaking, do not look at the entire crowd and try to overcome every single person in that crowd. You focus in on one single person and talk to them solely. Your anxiety will then fall to the wayside. And the reason this is because you're realizing that person is just like you, just trying to figure out how to communicate the best, how to read the tone, the word choices that you're given. This is a skill that is needed to be mastered, because for this video example, if I thought about every single person behind this video, this phone, this computer who's watching me, and try to please them and ask them all these questions like, am I doing good? Am I doing great? Give me feedback. Yes, feedback is good. Feedback will help you show up better the next time. But if you are just showing up to please others and you're just on here pleasing people, no one wants to watch that. It gives you a weird, slimy feeling that this person is not authentic. I can't trust this person. This person really has no grounds that they stand on. The feet beneath them is sand that is just shifting, and they're just hoping to find a good place to land. So, with that said, a little example in my life is being an introvert. I grew up, a lot of people thinking like I was just never going to be one who spoke much. The fact that I'm even in the profession of sales now is still mind-blowing to me, and a lot of people that I've grown up with, and people that maybe hear about my YouTube channel, they're blown away, like, I didn't know you had these thoughts, and I didn't know you could speak so well. I couldn't. I may have had the thoughts, but I didn't know how to articulate them into a way that could be easily digested. What I had to do was read, write, become obsessed with speakers, and literally fallen in love with people, how they told stories and how they were able to capture the minds and the focus, the attention of people when they spoke. What was it that they were doing? How was their voice? What was their tone of their voice? What was the pauses in their speech? What did they wear? Did they care about what they wore? There's so many things that you have to become obsessed with if you really want to master speaking and communication, and know that it's worth it. Know that speaking and mastering communication is worth it. Some people think they have a choice to either master it or not, but that choice is going to keep you in that situation because of the lack of your communication. So, what is the what's the alternative? There's really not. I can't see a valid alternative. So in my mind, I think it's best to learn about how people work, how psychology works, how to better communicate to other people, what are people's motivations usually, and how can I get to a point where I'm hitting and touching on their motivations, that they're willing to buy from me, listen to me, allow me to help them, and vice versa. I love going to restaurants because I love to see how the server is going to sell me, and I will literally tell that server that they are a great salesman because I'm listening to how they deliver their tone. If they really make it that you have to buy X and X, or if they are just really take it or leave it type, those are the people that I really enjoy going and being served by when I'm out eating. But that's just one example. But I challenge you next time when you're out eating and there's a server there, there's dessert, there's drinks, pick up on how they are going about selling you. And majority of the time, if they're great, it comes just naturally. You don't even feel like you're being sold. That's how it should be. You shouldn't be this crazy used car salesman type of person in whatever avenue that you're in. Either it be selling e-products, selling your coaching program, selling a car, whatever it is that you're in, there's a way to go about it that it doesn't have to be so overbearing, and definitely don't go be held up in a corner trying to sell either. You don't want to be thinking like, oh, everybody else, they talk too much. I feel like if they just came over here and just heard what I had to say, then maybe I could sell them. But these people are too loud. It's like, no, there's a reason those people are loud. There's a reason that those people do what they have to do. But at this point, I hope I'm not rambling. I'm showing up here day three of 30 of no cuts, no edits, to also drive this point home that you just need to show up for one, but become obsessed with mastering your communication to change your situation. And best believe every time I'm not making a video, I'm always learning, I'm always reading. I'm listening to an audiobook, a podcast on how to show up better and serve you guys better, because at the end of the day, that's what I love the most. Everybody's wired different, but that's how I find enjoyment out of life, is helping people and helping others get put on the path that I could see through them. But I need to be able to master my communication to be able to put into words exactly what that person needs to hear at the right exact time, if that makes sense. So appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, just know that a belief may be comforting, but only through true experience does it become liberating. Grant yourself permission to level up, because it's only you at the end of the day that has that authority. Until next time, it's your boy Salem. I'm out.